Wash your hands, don't touch your face, wipe things down, clean up your space. When you cough and sneeze, do responsibly. If you feel you're getting ill, isolate at home and chill. No, you're not alone. Please pick up your phone and call 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public Health 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public Health Community Radio Station will provide you with more information. Say Rainier Avenue Radio. Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Would you like to see when your favorite Rainier Avenue Radio show comes on? Check out our show schedule, updated weekly at rainieravenuradio.world.
Hello, world. Bettina Carey here, your host of We Empower You to Shatter Your Glass Ceiling. And as I like to say, I may be only 4'9.5", but what I do is big. Dream big, break through, shatter the revenue glass ceiling. And I'm here to kick self-imposed limitations to the curb and to teach others how to live their legacies right now. Do you feel empowered in all areas of your life? If the answer is no, and it likely is, then you're going to want to listen up, because today I have an amazing guest, and you're going to want to unlock your hidden potential with your master key. Before I share much about our guest, though, I do have one announcement, and that is this week we've been featuring Best Starts for Kids Virtual Summit Tuesday through Friday. And that is our last day tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. And it's going to be Youth Source King County. That's the DCHS program manager, Jamila Jones, Maria Guasad, Minda Michelle Mattox. And they're going to be having an awesome presentation and a virtual summit. For more information, go to rainieravenuradio.world. And of course, our guest today is none other than C.L. King. That stands for Christopher Lee King, impacting one life and one day at a time. He has certainly broken through the glass ceiling, and his inner potential and inner power is operating at full bore. So here's a little bit more about C.L. After experiencing sexual abuse, physical abuse, neglect, homelessness as a young child, C.L. was placed in a group and foster homes throughout the Northeast in Ohio. His foster mom, though, Ruth E. Plowden, told him that he could take all of the tragedies experienced as a child and use them to make excuses, or he could make a change in the world. And of course, that's what he's doing, and that's what he's done. After an honorable tour in the United States Marine Corps, C.L., his wife, and 6 of his 7 children settled in eastern North Carolina. Boy, you're very hot out there, I imagine, right about now. Students and adults around the world have benefited from his story and his passionate, dynamic delivery. And this is why administrators and organizations continue to request his events throughout the entire year, throughout the entire world for that matter. He has impacted the lives of nearly 400,000 students and families. And later, I would say that he's one of the most distinguished people that I will have the pleasure of knowing here in North America, as a life-changing speaker and a friend now indeed. And one of the big things that our audience is going to be left with here is the idea that there is no obstacle that you can not overcome. You still can make it, as he would say. Welcome, CL. It's so great to have you here today.
Man, I am so glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Bettina. And as you know, it is always an honor to share the same geographical, whether it be virtual or not, the same geographical location with you. So I'm honored to be here. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. I mean, I got dressed up to come to Bettina's show.
You know, you interviewed me just less than a month ago, and we had such a wonderful time. And what we discovered is that you and I share adversity as something that came into our life very young. Yes. And I was just a young girl when I became the victim of domestic violence. I was just in high school, having fallen in love with a high school boyfriend, and who later became my husband. And he ended up causing the premature birth and death of my firstborn. So that's where my story starts. And then, of course, I became an empowerer along the way. And some people might say that, you know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But what do you do when you're a young boy and you find yourself on the streets like you did for 6 months? How do you change your life? How do you transform? How do you make that obstacle go away? And how did you get so lucky to find your your foster mom?
Well, you know, again, there's a lot of steps along the way, as you know, with the journey and the phenomenal journey that you have had, Bettina. And that's why I had you on our show. And I'm going to have you back again just because you're so doggone awesome. But, you know, one of the things that I've recognized, having been interviewed and spoken, 400 something times around the country and around the world, is that there has to be this nexus between where you are and where you desire to be. Even during those times, Bettina, I recall in my mind, I mean, even eating at a soup kitchen at 10 years old, I recall saying, man, it cannot always be like this. And I needed to have a nexus, a connection point to get me from where I was to where I wanted to be. And yes, it truly was my foster mom. She's going to be in my book, all throughout my book, Who Ate My Brownie, coming up soon. And I give her full credit for being that nexus that spoke into my life and said, hey, Chris, you know, we hear your sad song. She did not bring no tissues to the party. She said, we hear your sad song, but we want to know what you're going to do about it. Are you going to make excuses, or are you going to use it to change the world? And so that's why we are where we are today, is because somebody was that nexus in my life.
Yes. And, you know, you're speaking to a little bit of the choir when it comes to the question, what do you want? So what did you decide during that nexus point that you wanted so badly that you would literally kick the idea of that being, you know, your life being an obstacle to the curb, to grab a hold of opportunity and to make your life something bigger than life?
Man, that's a great question, Bettina. As you know, you're such an awesome interviewer anyway. The reality is that I got a taste for the future. Okay, so when I came to that foster home, as you remember, I was in 3 different foster homes, 2 different group homes, and bounced around in the social service system from birth up until I was about 18 years old. But I got a taste for what my potential could be. And it was simply by Church on the North Coast. They hired me to go out on the streets in Cleveland, Ohio, to go to some of the very kids that I used to run around in the hood with. And we would go out there, and we created a program called Joshua Kids. And I got a taste for seeing how using my story could inspire people that was like me. And I said, man, this actually works. I don't have to go buy Zig Ziglar's package. I can just tell them my story, and it works. And so it was that small taste right there, Bettina, that actually was the fire that got lit. You know, it was the kindling, if you will, that got me started. And I realized, hey, man, I'm not just going to stop here, man. There is something powerful behind a person's story of overcoming. And that's why, Bettina, as you know, that I tell tens of thousands of others, no matter the adversity, you still can make it.
Yes, you sure can. And, you know, you operate 24/7. And that's a platform that is there for anyone to be a part of. So tell us about your platform, how folks can get a hold of you before we get too much further.
Yes, because you know this brother can run his mouth and we will run out of time with no problem. I'm watching the clock, so I'm trying to stay with you. Impacting Life 24/7 was founded back in 2009. We decided to form a nonprofit. My best friend on the planet, Greg, and I, we said, you know what, we're going to do more, because we saw gang violence rising. We saw teen unemployment rising. We saw so many different numbers rising. And we said we can be a part of the discussion of how bad it is, or we can be a part of the solution. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, Bettina, when we formed this, I'm a little radical. I'm a little different. I don't necessarily fit into everybody's mold because I'm so edgy and so aggressive. But man, we got after it, man. We said, you know what, we're gonna create a platform that is a resource-oriented architecture for organizations, schools, community centers, faith-based groups, and the such that are in the communities that are trying to make an impact. And so we said, we're going to go to them and we're going to help them in their mission and their quest. And so that's what we did. We formed the CL King Group Incorporated. Our mission is simply this: impacting one life, one day at a time. We've never been overblown or overwhelmed by numbers or who's doing what or who likes us or any of that kind of stuff. We just recognize that if I can impact one life. Listen, my foster mom had 83 foster kids, Bettina, 83. And only one of them is a professional international speaker. So if you can just impact one life, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and look at the hundreds of thousands have been impacted by you alone. And of course, you've got this wonderful family to boot, and you've really made something of yourself. I have to say, I'm so glad to have you here. And we're on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. I mean, you're literally reaching the world right now. Did you know that?
Well, you know, anything that Bettina Carey does is global. So when I'm in there we were joking before the show backstage. I was getting my makeup done. I was actually cutting my hair. I said I wanted to look good for Bettina's show because anything you touch is global. And yes, being on this platform is a high honor. And being able to reach people from coast to coast through the shrinkage of technology has helped us shrink the globe. I'm honored to be with you.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to be talking here today about 3 tips to overcome any obstacle and any adversity to shatter your glass ceiling here. So share with us 3 tips that you recently spoke about on 3 life-changing tips for highly effective people that you did with Sharik Javad. And I know the first tip is about gifting. So why is this important?
Man, that is so important, Bettina. And I wish I had about 17 hours to break this down for you, but since I only got 17 seconds, I'm going to do it really good for you. The number one thing that I discovered was that I don't have a lot of gifts, Bettina. Okay, I can't change a tire, can't change an engine, can barely cook, can hardly walk my dog. But the one thing that I tapped into was the gift that I had, the thing that I love to do above anything else in life that I can do effectively is talk. And so one thing that I've discovered with people is that they never tap into their giftings. They log into a 9-to-5 every day. They work 30, 40 years, get a gold watch, and consider that successful. Here's what I tell young people, and a lot of folks get mad at me, Bettina. Can you imagine getting mad at CL? But I tell them that dumping fries in a basket of oil is not a gift. Any trained SEAL could do that. What the true gift is understanding the finances it takes to keep the lights on and the money it takes to make payroll. That's a gift. And what I try to tell people to tap into the thing that you love to do, not the thing that you have to do. Some people say, well, my gift, I hate my gift. Well, then develop something that only you can do that becomes your gift. It doesn't have to be one that's naturally acquired right now. But what I discovered is my gift was talking. And so, I've made a pile of cash. I make no apology for it, for using this one gift, Bettina. And if we can unpackage our gifts, let me just say this, man, I know I ain't going to get to all 3, but let me just say this. You know the feeling that you get, Bettina, when someone hands you a present on Christmas morning, right?
Yep.
You know that feeling? That is what it should feel like every day when you go to quote unquote work. And if it don't feel like that, you in the wrong business, honey. Okay, so you got to tap into your giftings. What is your gift? That's the G. And when I teach people in our gear training, the next step, because you want me to keep flowing, I know I got to go. The next step is E. When you discover your gift, the next thing you need to understand is it's going to take energy and endurance. Okay, I'm gonna be totally transparent with your audience. Last 2 weeks, I was almost dead, Bettina.
Oh.
The vid came to our house. I had COVID. And I tried to keep, for the first time in the history of my organization, I had to clear my public schedule. And it was devastating. It was the worst experience of my life, right? But I also recognized that if this train is going to get out the station, I got to continue to be at the conductorship. So oftentimes people get their gifts. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. But they don't realize that it takes energy and endurance. I don't have my weight. I don't have my weight right here because I use that as a prop. The energy is picking the weight up off the ground. The endurance is how long can you hold it up over your head? See, anybody can lift it up, but can you hold it up and keep it up there? Energy and endurance. It takes it, man. You got to get that. You got to have the energy to get out of bed, and you got to have the endurance to continue to get out the bed. And this is what we teach people, man. Man, don't get so mesmerized by numbers and clicks and likes and hearts and all that. Man, you got to be in it for the long haul. And utilizing your gift will require energy and endurance. The last one is activate. That's the third tip. Is what we see, and you see this in the global platform that you have, Bettina, is that people talk a good talk. They like me, they run their jibs a lot. And they may even have energy and endurance, but they never start. They never start. They're like, well, when we have our first baby, and then when we buy our first home, and then, well, now we got to get a minivan, and then we get a dog. And they continue to put these artificial benchmarks that they're going to one day ascribe to and never get there. Here's what I tell them. I have a platform. Our show reaches 33 states and 11 different countries. When I first started, Bettina, it wouldn't reach the local dog catcher. Right. But I got started. And sometimes people are captured by the grasp of the hands of the clock and they never move. And here's what I tell them, Bettina, get your butt started, get activated, move forward. Even if you fail, even if it doesn't look pretty, even if everybody says you look like a clown, CL, that's okay. The very same people that were criticizing me are begging to be on my show now because I got activated. And so giftings, utilize them. Find what your gifting is. Energy and endurance. Understand that it's not for the weak. It's a long haul. It's a marathon. And then finally, get started, baby, and you'll see the results that you're looking for. Woo!
Woo! You just totally told it out there. And I'm telling you, get your voice, get your platform, lift up others as you climb. We are talking to CL King. And I am so glad that you were able to join us here today. So tell us about your youth advocacy nonprofit, because I know that's a heavy lift, but you're doing this every single day, 24/7. Tell us your goal initiative, about your goal initiative.
Yes, ma'am. And again, one of the things that we believe in is that our focus has always been narrow, okay? Because I was a kid of the streets, I was a kid of the system, so my heartbeat is always going to be young people. Through the years, we have seen branches of what we do break off into helping organizations and helping corporations, and it's just the nature of the beast. But one of the things that we continuously focus on May 20th, I'm hosting a summit right on our platform, Impacting Life 24/7, to help young people get exposure to careers. When I go to the hood, and I ain't afraid to go, sister, I go all up in the bowels of the hood, right? All the time. Wherever the rough parts are, that's where I want to go. I talk to young people, and many times they have never been exposed to anything that they want to do. Never. I want to be in the Marine Corps. I want to join the military. They've never talked to a recruiter, and they're a junior in high school. They're 17 years old and they have no clue. They have no roadmap. They have no architecture. They have nothing, no support at home, nowhere. And so what we do is, in particular with our goal initiative and with our gear training and with our grind mode leadership training, is we help young people, moms and dads, they can tag along too, but primarily the young people, we help them get in the mode of success. even when you're looking at the projects, even when you're looking like ain't nothing happening in the hood, we show them and get them exposure beyond their borders. And so we pull people in, we take them on college tours. We get them exposure to high level people, not just folks that are, it's cool that you want to braid hair, honey, but I'm going to bring a business owner that owns their own beauty shop so they can show you exactly what it takes. It takes more to be in cosmetology than just braiding hair. You got to know chemicals, you got to know chemistry, you got to know all of that. And if they have no exposure to it, Bettina, they never know how to go forward. And so the primary mission of the CL King Group Incorporated, with all of our tentacles and all of our branches of influence, is to help young people gain exposure to their life goals.
And you are making leaders out there. Imagine some of these folks have grown up from a very young age, and now they're grown men and grown women all over the world making a difference.
Yeah, I was really pleased. The very first young lady that went through our Gold Initiative program, I'll never forget it. She wanted to be in cosmetology. I said, all right, girl. So we took her to the college. We had 4, 5, 7 different professionals come, give them lectures. They had to do essays, 500-word essays on the career choices that they picked. We had them volunteer in the community. And you can't just be, having this in your mind. You got to get out there and smell it and taste it and feel it. Mm-hmm. And so afterwards, she went to college. And now she works in the field of cosmetology. This started way back in 2009 when she was a freshman. So we're very, very honored and pleased that young people are taking advantage of the work that's within them. We just show them the roadmap, and then they succeed from there.
That's great. And you're also helping any educator or principals that are out there doing this work. So you can come to Seattle and work with our educators, right?
Yes, I would love to come to Seattle. I know it would take me about 17 days to get there because it's on the other side of the continent. But yes, and that is one of the things that we have that is really the unique architecture of our company. Because oftentimes people say, well, where's your headquarters? Where's your gym? Where's your Boys and Girls Club? That's not the way we operate. We operate in a support architecture for organizations that are supporting the young people. So in other words, the school, the community centers, the churches, the faith-based. I mean, I've spoken in thousands of schools to tens of thousands of students. And we go there, and the beautiful thing about it is I believe in building relationships. So oftentimes people pay me to come in and do the thing, and that's great. But man, I want to have a long-term, long-lasting residual relationship with the students, with the staff, and so on. And so there are many schools that I go back to on an annual basis to recharge them, to reinvigorate them, to reconnect them to their purpose. And so that is definitely something that we do all the time.
All the time, 24/7, right?
Yes, ma'am. It is not it's not for the faint of heart. You look at the clock and it's always ticking.
your military clock, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Marine Corps. I love it. So you're listening to Shatter the Glass Ceiling on Rainier Avenue Rainier Avenue Radio.world, and I'm with CL King. There's another way that folks can actually connect with us. That's at the We Empower You Global Virtual Summit that's coming up on June the 9th. So if you're struggling to create a business and a brand and you don't quite know how to get your business off the ground, you need to up-level the game you're already playing. You want to shatter the glass ceiling. You want to make some money, basically, online with your business. We're the organization to come to. And you're going to gain that expertise and network with entrepreneurs. It's a 12-hour marathon day. It goes from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. CL, you're going to be back, I hope. And we're going to get you talking to us a little bit more about how people can shatter their glass ceiling. And we're going to help folks with everything they need to empower their lives in business, leadership, love, life, and health. And that's on June the 9th. And get this, I have 500 sponsored tickets. So get yours today by texting the word Bettina, that's my name, Bettina, to 555-888. This 12-hour marathon day is going to feature more than 24 speakers, including CL sometime during the day. We still have to work that out. Thank you so much, CL. What are your closing thoughts, and how can folks again get a hold of you?
Well, if people would love for us to come out, we have a virtual platform as well as an in-person platform for those areas that allow in-person. All you got to do is go to clkingspeaker.com. And here's the thing. I don't just connect with everybody, Bettina. Okay. Thousands of people ask me to connect with them, and it just doesn't work because it doesn't jive. But there's every once in a while when the planets aligned correctly and you connect with somebody such as yourself and you realize that this person has a heartbeat for others. And, when someone asked me when I started this, do you want to make money or do you want to make a difference? I said, I want to do both. And there's nothing wrong with either one. And so for those of you out there, that are hitting the glass ceiling, listen, I know about the corporate world. I've supported the corporate world for decades, and you get stuck. You get shackled to familiarity. Every day, clocking a 9 to 5, and you get shackled to that. And the risk of potentially leaving that comfort zone is great, and people are afraid to do so. But if you connect with somebody like Bettina and the We Empower You movement, you'll get an opportunity to see, man, that ceiling that you've been looking at is actually just the floor for you. See, some people, they look up and it's the ceiling, and it's like, man, I'll never attain that. Bettina teaches you how to make that your new floor and go to heights that you've never been to before. So my closing thoughts are this. Collaboration is important, ladies and gentlemen. We have heard so much over the past 12, 24 months, 15 months, let's put it that way, about being distant, staying away from each other. And listen, I'm all about the science. But at the end of the day, we're still the human race. We're still humanity, and we need one another. I need a Bettina Carey in my life. And she, from time to time, when she's feeling crazy, she needs a CL King in her life. And we need you, and you need us. So this is an opportunity for us to reconnect and recalibrate our capacity to collaborate. And if you've been kind of isolated over the past 12 months, 14 months, and you're trying to get yourself going again, I want you to reach out to Bettina. Okay, because if you can reach Bettina, you can reach me. Reach out to Bettina and her team, because she's showing people how to find their new floor. Even though it might be the glass ceiling and you shatter it, that becomes your starting point. And so I would say, let's collaborate, let's connect, let's get together and truly make this world a different place.
Absolutely. We're all in this together. And as we say here, without each other, we really wouldn't get anywhere. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you. Our next show is God is Inspiration with DJ Smooth T. Thank you, CL. It's been so wonderful to have you. Bye, everyone. And we'll talk to you the next week, Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Ask most anyone if they feel empowered in all areas of their life. If they're honest, they'll likely say no. Hi, I'm Bettina Carey, and I may be only 4'9½". But what I do is big. Dream big, break through, and connect to powerful people like you. And what I'm doing is inspiring and empowering others to break through, shatter their revenue glass ceiling. And I'm here to tell you that the We Empower You community is where you're going to want to be. It's a community. It's a membership. It's a movement. And what we're doing is helping you to start and run your online business without doing a thing. We're helping you to find angel investors that you don't have to pay back, to run your own membership program where you don't have to do the work, and so much more. We are here to empower you at the We Empower You Global Summit and the WeEmpowerYourLife.com. Visit us on the web at WeEmpowerYourLife.com or text the word Bettina to 555-888. We'll see you at the summit.